Something that's been on my mind a lot lately is that how crazy it is that Grand Theft Auto 6 and Ocarina of Time are releasing in the same launch window. And if they're going to mirror the original release of Ocarina of Time, it sounds like they're both going to be released in November, because we have Grand Theft Auto, if you remember, slated for a November release as well. Now, I want to say that I'm actually a huge Grand Theft Auto fan as well. I like GTA 5, but more so the earlier games like San Andreas and GTA 4. I honestly spent countless hours playing San Andreas as a teenager. It's kind of ridiculous to go back and look at it. And not only that, but my most popular video to date is actually a Grand Theft Auto tier list, believe it or not. It has like 31,000 views or something like that. Nothing crazy, but for me, it's definitely my biggest video. So again, I do like Grand Theft Auto a lot, even though Ocarina of Time and Zelda probably is my favorite franchise of all time, with Ocarina of Time being my favorite game of all time. But the Grand Theft Auto games, they've always had a place for me. But you know, I just find it interesting how the highest rated game of all time, and probably the most anticipated and expensive game of all time to produce, are releasing probably within a month of each other, if I were to guess. Now, there are a few points that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this. I mean, just thinking about it, do we think the sales of Grand Theft Auto are going to impact the sales of Ocarina of Time in any way? Because I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is a lot more anticipated. And with the prices of these games, we know Grand Theft Auto 6 might be around $100, right? We don't know how much Ocarina of Time is going to be, but you know, if I know Nintendo, and just based on history, I think it's going to be probably $80. If we're lucky, it'll be less than that, but I think they're probably going to go for the full 80, given the hype for this game. So, right, and I was thinking about it, and will Grand Theft Auto sales cannibalize some of Ocarina of Time's? And the answer to that, honestly, is I don't think so. I think that the core audience of Ocarina of Time is a very dedicated one. I think the people that were going to buy Ocarina of Time are going to buy Ocarina of Time anyways. There is some overlap between Zelda fans and Grand Theft Auto fans, and of course I'm one of them, and which is kind of a weird spot to be in. But I think that the two fan bases are different enough to where there's not going to be a whole lot of it's not going to really negatively impact Ocarina of Time as much as you think it would. Now, when it comes to 2026 and Game of the Year, I think that both of them are releasing late enough in the year that they won't get recognized as a 2026 Game of the Year, and likewise will probably be competing for the next year. But it's interesting to think, you know, that that's actually the case. Right, when you think about these two games, they're probably two of the most influential games ever made, especially for gamers that are, you know, like me in their 30s or 40s. Like, when you really think about it, Grand Theft Auto and Zelda, you know, were a big part of our childhoods growing up. I mean, kids nowadays, they play GTA 5 and all that, but we had like so many different Grand Theft Autos growing up, including GTA 5, right? We had 3, Vice City, San Andreas. We had 4, which was great too, and then we had Grand Theft Auto 5. And then there was other ones that were thrown in here and there, like the Stories games and Chinatown Wars and all that. But ultimately, when it comes to the point of Grand Theft Auto releasing around the same time as Ocarina of Time, I don't really think there's any losers here, right? I mean, as gamers, we kind of all win in this situation, right? Like, even if Grand Theft Auto does take away some of the sales of Ocarina of Time, like, we're still getting these games regardless. So, I mean, either way, we're coming out on top. I think, though, as far as the future goes, I think GTA 6 is the game that's a lot more future-proof, right? Like, people are going to buy Grand Theft Auto 6 once, and it's going to be a game, you know, that people play for years and years, and, you know, probably a decade down the line. It'll just keep evolving, similar to probably how Grand Theft Auto 5 did. You know, whereas Ocarina of Time, it's more of a game where you buy it once, you enjoy it, you play through the story. You know, it may be your favorite game of all time, but it's definitely not one of those evergreen titles like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be, for sure, right? But I think with both these games coming out in the same year, I think 2026 is probably going to be remembered as one of the best years in gaming, if not the best. There's other years that come close. We've got, like, I don't know, what comes to mind is 1998, right? We had Ocarina of Time, we had Half-Life, and a bunch of other great games, and you have 2017 with Breath of the Wild. So 2017 was just a great year in general. I mean, there's much more than Breath of the Wild, but those are some of the best years in my book, right? I think 2026, and we've already had a lot of great games released this year. One game that comes to mind is Resident Evil 9. Absolutely love Resident Evil, and I loved the ninth installment. But yeah, as I said, I'm not too worried about Grand Theft Auto releasing at the same time of Ocarina of Time, right? Because you have Nintendo and Rockstar, and these two companies just honestly couldn't be more different. Nintendo gets a lot of criticism for being not consumer friendly. They're constantly, sending the Nintendo Ninja lawyers out at people, and they're taking down projects left and right. And then you got Rockstar Games, which kind of lets you do, whatever you want as far as mods go, which I actually kind of respect them for in a way. It's nice of them to do that. And Nintendo is a company that continuously seems to be shooting themselves in the foot, right, left and right, as far as reputation and just consumer report and trust goes. So I think Rockstar definitely has that going for them. Like on one hand, you've got a game about crime and building a criminal empire and getting wealthy, right? And then you have a game about being heroic, saving the kingdom, and all that. So again, these two games just couldn't be more different, and I don't think there's not as much overlap as we think um, with these two games. I know for me, I'm definitely going to be picking up both of these games, right? I'm a huge fan of both series. Huge fan of Grand Theft Auto, huge fan of Zelda, especially Ocarina of Time. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be getting both of them. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. What kind of effect do you think Grand Theft Auto's release is going to have on the upcoming Ocarina of Time remake? Do you think it's going to hurt it? Do you think it's going to have no effect at all? Um, Let me know because I'm definitely curious to hear what your thoughts are on this topic. As always, I've got more Ocarina of Time videos coming down the pipeline. I think the next video that I'm going to come out with is going to touch on the combat in Ocarina of Time. And I'm actually taking a little more time with this one because I want to really delve into this and the nuances of it. I'm currently playing through the original Ocarina of Time again. I've definitely noticed some things that could be improved. So yeah, expect that video coming out here within a couple days. So hit the subscribe button if you like that kind of content. Yeah, it's been fun. So until next time, guys, bye.